Well, good morning again. I'm Dan DeRosa with 19 News, coming to you from our digital desk. We want to have a conversation about the U.S. Department of Education and its future, which is pretty murky at this point, to say the least. President Donald Trump has made comments. So we expected maybe even a movement, maybe an executive order last week closing the U.S. Department of Education, and where that should be of concern to a lot of parents and students is when it comes to the idea of federal financial aid. If you have a student that's headed to college, in college, or just out of college, you know all too well the FAFSA. It is a pain in the butt form to fill out, but it is necessary. It's one of the first things you need to fill out. The FAFSA actually stands for Free Application for Federal Student Aid, and it is an agency that is run by the U.S. Department of Education. It determines not only your need based for your student or your child, but also what level of federal student loans you might be eligible for. And it's really one of the first forms you have to fill out as it goes down the line for other scholarships and other need-based grants. So what is going to happen, or what could happen? We're all just speculating here. And to help us with that, we're going to bring in Dr. Sean Patel. He is co-founder of a company called Prep Expert. Dr. Patel, thanks for joining us. How are you today?
Thanks for having me. I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Not too shabby. Let's get into this. First of all, Prep Expert, and Dr. Patel may look familiar. You may have heard the name Prep Expert before. They were a Shark Tank contestant, a very successful Shark Tank backed by Mark Cuban. We'll give you the softball here. Tell us what Prep Expert is.
Yeah, so Prep Expert is a company I started about 15 years ago. And what we do is we help students improve their SAT and ACT scores, get into top colleges. But related to today's conversation, get over $100 million in scholarships and financial aid to pay for their college educations, which could be threatened by the US Department of Education getting shut down, which is what we're here to talk about.
Yeah, let's jump into this. The future is uncertain at best when it comes to what President Donald Trump may do, shutter the program altogether, keep it, reduce its size greatly. You're here to give us a little bit of a prediction when it comes to FAFSA, because so many parents are worried about this, are dependent on this form that they fill out for the federal government. What do you think would happen to FAFSA if suddenly Donald Trump said, all right, that's it, close the doors on the U.S. Department of Education?
Yeah, great question. And so I think there's really one of three things that could happen in that. And the good news for parents and students is I don't think that FAFSA, or the free application for federal student aid, will go away. Instead, what will likely happen is there will be a contingency plan to move FAFSA to either another federal department, such as the US Department of Treasury, be administered through the states rather than the federal government, or it could just be carved out into its own department where, a small number of staff continue to administer the FAFSA, student loans, federal Pell Grants, and others. Similar to how the administration recently tried to cancel all of USAID, but just yesterday they came out and said, we're canceling 83% of it, which meant that they found that 17% really was essential. And I would imagine that the 17% in the US Department of Education that is absolutely essential is going to be the Office of Federal Student Aid, because they administer billions of dollars in federal loans for students to be able to afford and pay for college.
And you make an excellent point. There's no way that can just go away. The future of thousands, millions of students would then be put in jeopardy. So let's get to the what do I do now? I'm a parent. I have a student who's about to graduate high school. Do I even waste my time filling this out? Walk us through what parents should be thinking right about now.
Yeah, so parents and students who have applied to college this application season should still continue to fill out and process their FAFSA applications as normal. One of the things that happened late last year with FAFSA is they actually got the application out early, which is abnormal for FAFSA in its tech process. So clearly things are working over there. I would highly recommend get in as early as possible because federal loans are given on a first come, first served basis based on how much is out there and who applies. Now, you could experience with this disruption in the Department of Education some delays in updates, in processing, customer service, et cetera, but I don't anticipate the funds to disappear altogether. I recommend fill out FAFSA as you would normal, but I also recommend don't just depend on federal aid. Look for state-based programs, look for private scholarships and other ways, your family's college 529 savings plans and other ways to fund your education. So you don't have all your eggs in one basket. And, worst case scenario, if the Office of Federal Student Aid does get shut down with the U.S. Department of Education, you're not out of luck that way.
We're speaking with Dr. Sean Patel. He is co-founder of Prep Expert, a national company that helps kids better SAT, ACT scores, as well as find some of that valuable scholarship money. Dr. Patel, I'm going to leave you with the final word here. A little bit of an uncertain time here when it comes to the U.S. Department of Education. You get the final word. What do you think students and parents should be feeling and be thinking right about now?
Yeah, applying to college and funding college is stressful enough. Don't let, the back and forth about government shutdowns and departments getting shut down scare you from pursuing your dreams to apply to college. You'll find a way to figure out how to get it funded, whether it's through the federal government, state government, scholarships, diversify, make sure that you're saving and everything will work out. I promise you. I'm sure that those in the administration will figure out a way that the Office of Federal Student Aid will continue to positively disperse funds to students, families who most need it.
And Dr. Patel, some very good advice, especially when it comes to holding on to that dream of college and higher education. We appreciate the time. Good luck to you and Tech and Prep Expert, a phenomenal company that's out there helping young students and families navigate this entire process. We appreciate the time. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me. It's been a pleasure.
All right, take care. That's going to wrap it up. Just another way that we're trying to help everybody navigate through what is some turbulent times. You may have been looking at your 401k lately. That's a dangerous thing to do as well, as we see the stock market is now again for a third, fourth straight day taking another substantial hit. If we have any other breaking news, it'll be right here on our digital platforms. Otherwise, our 12 o'clock, our noon broadcast, just 5 minutes away. That'll be on Channel 19. Until then, I'm Dan DeRosa with 19 News. Have a great afternoon.
19 News is everywhere. Download our CTV apps and follow us on social media at Cleveland 19 News.